From the News Channel 5 Network and Urban League of Middle Tennessee, this is Urban League Live.
Hello, Middle Tennessee, and welcome to Urban League Live. I'm your host, Clifton Harris, President and CEO of the Urban League of Middle Tennessee. February marks Black History Month, which serves as an observance for the success and triumphs of African Americans throughout America. Today, we're honoring Black History Month by acknowledging the amazing work the Urban League is doing right here in Middle Tennessee. Since our inception in 1968, the Urban League has collaborated at the local, regional, and state level with community leaders, policymakers, corporate partners, and supporters to elevate standards of living for African Americans and other historically underserved groups. In 2025 alone, we assisted thousands with workforce training services, which led to job placements for hundreds of individuals, completed 480 workforce development trainings, supplied 2,000 Middle Tennesseans with resources to help them successfully re-enter society. But these are just a few of our significant accomplishments last year. I have Frank Bouye, Vice President of Education and Workforce Development at the Urban League of Middle Tennessee, as well as Tempest Utley, the Urban League of Middle Tennessee's Chief Operating Officer, joining me today to unpack the many successes of the Urban League in 2025. Welcome, Tempest and Frank.
Thank you.
So we're going to jump right in.
Okay.
So let's start a conversation today with just a recap of some of the accomplishments and the work that we did last year in workforce and other areas like small business. So Frank, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Let's talk some about the impact that advancing workforce equity has had in employment in 2025 by the numbers.
By the numbers. So
you know, it's all about the numbers.
It is all about the numbers. That is true. So throughout the year, we've impacted over 8,000 individuals, and
Wow.
of course, we didn't do all of those alone. We have partners, but through
And significant partners, right?
significant partners that we worked with, we assisted, and we moved over 8,000 people through various programs across, with obviously a lot more partners. And in touching all of those 8,000 individuals, we were able to move approximately between 15 and 18 million dollars back into society through salaries and careers and career changes. And
that's money back into the economy.
That's money
the
back
local
into
economy.
the local economy annually. So that was a great opportunity for us, and the partners are all across Nashville. They're all across Davidson County. So it's not just in downtown Nashville or the heart of the city. We also touched some youth. We touched over 680 young people, giving them summer jobs through the state of Tennessee. We were able to impact their lives. They got some internships. They would do some job shadowing. They did actual work. And it was just a great opportunity for young people in the state. So we were able to touch so many different people this
And that
past
was with
year.
83 employers.
That was with 83 employers, and that was over $1.7 million back into the community in young people's hands.
Wow.
They weren't out on the street. They weren't doing things. They were, in some cases, they were studying, working with employers, and then getting ready and leaving those employers and going back to school. And then others stayed on and got hired permanently with those employers. So that was a great opportunity as well.
Just those two programs alone, we've put right at $3 million back into the economy.
Absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
But Frank, on that program, what I'm also excited about, you know, as adults, Tempest and I always say, if the kids can see it, they can be it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But somebody's got to show it to them.
Absolutely. They have to. You got to set that example. And getting back into the businesses where these businesses become stakeholders. They have skin in the game to help coach and develop these young people as well. And having that in the summer, they then take that back to school and then tell others. And they say, okay, we've got a path that we can move on.
Give me two businesses that you work with.
Two of the businesses, one is KIPP School, for
Okay.
example. We worked with
KIPP Academy.
KIPP Academy, and we helped them move forward and do some business, taking kids, putting them in different environments. And the kids learned a lot in those programs, and they got stipends as they went through the program. We also had many of the small businesses as well. We worked with a dental office where
Dr.
we
Ruth.
were able, Dr. Ruth,
All
we were
right.
able
Dr.
to.
Smiley.
Dr.
And Dr.
Smiley
Smiley.
as
Okay.
well.
Absolutely.
So these young people were actually brought on as interns working in the office as not technicians, but they were assistants, and they learned what a dentist does. They got to see what a dentist does or a dental assistant does. So it gave them an opportunity to see some professionals at work, and they say, maybe that's the career I want to go in, or maybe it's not, but they were exposed to it.
And then the business had the option of hiring them at the end, right?
Absolutely. They could keep them hired after, and because they had been getting their gross wages back, this gave them a chance to say, we tried them and we trained them, and now we're going to keep them.
Try it before you buy it.
There you
I
go.
love it. I love it. So, Tempest, let's spend some time now talking about our workforce and efforts in civic engagement, specifically our group violence and our expungement clinics.
The group violence, GVI is what we affectionately call it. We've served over 1,000 people from turkey giveaways to expungements.
Oh, wow.
So it's been an amazing year, and we've been able to make true impact in our community.
And that expungement clinic was able to, well, since helping folks in the group violence, that has saved the city of Nashville. I want to get that on the record.
Okay.
$1.3 million.
$1.3 million.
Because all those people that we've touched no longer were
Have
repeat
not.
offenders,
That's
right?
correct. We haven't had anyone to offend again.
Well, yeah.
And we actually go and visit them. We meet them and we let them know, hey, everybody knows you're doing or you've been involved in some bad things. We need you to stop. You need to stop because everybody knows what you're doing and you need to go down a different direction. And having qualified people that can go and have that conversation with them, and they don't think we're the police or anything. We go and we have a conversation, say, this is the time you want to change your life.
And we're able to get them jobs.
And we are able to get them
Yes.
jobs. We're able
Final
to help
touch.
them with many different services that the Metro has provided us.
And over 2,000 people got their records expunged,
Yeah,
cleared.
about 2,300 at
Cleared.
this point. Cleared, yes.
Yes.
That means they can get a job, they can get housing.
They can
Yes.
get a job. They can become a lawyer. They can become
Sky's
all
the
of these
limit.
places.
Yes.
All
Yes.
these different opportunities they can now take advantage of as any other citizen.
Okay.
They paid their debt to society, and now they get the opportunity to move back in.
So we're going to take a break right here, and when we come back, we'll pick up where we left off, because I want the listening audience to know that those same people got their voter rights restored.
Yes.
So what's in store for Middle Tennessee in 2026? After the break, we're going to share what's coming up in 2026. Welcome back to Urban League Live. I'm joined by Frank Boyer, Vice President for Education and Workforce Development at the Urban League, and Tempest Utley, COO, to discuss the next upcoming year for the Urban League of Middle Tennessee in 2026. So Tempest, let's finish up what we were briefly talking about, because I want to get in here the Youth Leadership Initiative Academy.
Okay.
And there are a couple of things that we did with young people returning that I want you to talk about. So tell us about.
Sure. Leadership Academy, we absolutely love it. It is the best time of the year. So it's every year in June for the entire month. It's called Leadership Academy, but we also have Path to Purpose, which is for our youth, our college kids, and we have, of course, Traditional Leadership Academy, which is the high schoolers.
High schoolers,
9th
yeah.
through 12th grade. Girls 1 week, it's the second week of June, and then the boys the last 2 weeks, which are high schoolers as well. And it is exciting, magnificent
It is an awesome time
during the month. The boys are there for 2 weeks, and it's craziness. They're busy every day, all day. And you keep hitting on this word that I love, and it's to make sure that what our kids, they can see things to know what they would like to be eventually in their career. So we definitely focus on that. So we'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
Path to Purpose, that's my college voice. The majority of these kids have gone through our program. Some started as early as the 5th grade. So 5th through 12th at the Urban League of Middle Tennessee Leadership Academy, and then on a Path to Purpose. So what we found with Path to Purpose, as once they get to college, there are some things that they didn't learn a lot about in Leadership Academy, and one being resumes. You know, they know about resumes, we've done some resumes, but what a resume at a college level and beyond needs to look like. Yes, so understanding the keywords, the purpose, making sure that it's aligned with the job description that you're applying
And financial
for.
literacy.
Absolutely, that was a big one this year because remember you're away at college and your mom is usually making your meals and lunch and breakfast and dinners, but away at college it's just you and a meal plan, but some of them don't have meal plans. So how do they budget? They didn't understand this $100 I need to be able to use for 2 weeks worth of meals. Or
So they came back during the summer and learned all of that
yeah,
stuff.
they did.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool.
So
It
I got
was.
another program I want to give a shout out to, and that is our Real Estate Developers Academy. We graduated our second cohort,
Second
Yeah.
cohort.
12 real estate developers who currently have 700 plus affordable housing units in progress, which is $300 plus million of low-income housing for people. There's 60 down to 30% of area median income.
Yeah.
And add that to our first cohort, that would be over 1,400 units of housing and over $500 million, and I'll put back into the economy by way of housing development.
Incredible program.
So, let's look ahead for a moment. And Frank, I'm gonna pick back up with some apprenticeship stuff.
Okay.
But looking ahead for 2026, Tempest, there is some excitement about the next level program that's about to happen
Absolutely.
this year. So
Yeah.
tell us briefly what that's all about.
Next Level program, it is for small businesses with revenues of $100,000 a year and 2 employees, so yourself plus 1 to work in the business, and not necessarily full-time, but enough to where you bring in that $100,000 a year. And we invest in our community, in our small businesses. So if you're accepted into the Next Level program, we give you $1,000 to reinvest in your business. We give you a new laptop. We try to help set you up for success.
That's
and
awesome.
we've had 48 graduates so far. We've put back into our economy around $4.5 million over all 4 classes.
That's
so
awesome.
it has been a great time with
That's
the Urban
awesome.
League and our small business department.
And Frank, you got a
Absolutely.
new program for apprenticeship.
Yes. We are working on the apprenticeship side. As we've gone through all of 2025, we saw that we need to do even more to help people with careers. And the apprenticeship piece is the next step, where we can get you in, we can train you on the pre-apprenticeship side, and then connect you with employers. And now we're talking about a career. So we work with Music City Construction and Careers to help people with union-based careers, whether the trade is electrician, if it's HVAC, plumbing, construction, sheet metal, whatever it is, you put them through the pre-apprenticeship training, going through safety and going through other key items. We also take them through those life skills, the skills that you're going to need in interacting with other people, conflict management. So we put them through that as well, and then at the completion, at the end of the 4 weeks, they then get picked up by various unions, whichever resonated the most with them, whichever one says, that's where I want to have my career. And then we put them in apprenticeships with those various unions and organizations because they're prepared and ready to go.
And now
So
they're
that's great.
leapfrogging, right, to
Absolutely.
$25 an hour, $35
yeah.
an hour, $40 an hour,
They
and so
can
on.
move up very quickly. An electrician in an apprenticeship program could easily make 6 figures with overtime. HVAC
awesome.
can do the same thing. And now you've got a career. We get them tools, we get them a lot of support behind the scene if they need support in communication, transportation, especially just to get them off their feet. So, great program.
So quickly tell us about the aviation program.
Well, we're doing a lot of things with the airport. So we're doing some things on the aviation side, and we're doing some other things at the airport too, with the hospitality piece, because the airport has got to run every day. So
It's
you
a city
can't have
within a city.
you can't have a shortage of employees. So we put them through the Airport Hospitality Association. We work with them, and we help train people in just how to be better ambassadors for the city of Nashville, how to manage the financial pieces and with tips and with managing the bills and you're dealing with people that are coming in from overseas, you're dealing with people from all across the world, and we have to put our best foot forward. So taking all of these hospitality workers through this association training is a great way for them to kick off, and we help address the challenges the airport has with turnover.
Okay.
Because now they see that they can then be a division manager, or they could be a general manager of a location, and they can make substantial money in the hospitality career versus just a cashier or just a worker that's waiting tables.
Awesome.
So
That's
it's a
awesome.
great opportunity.
So, Tempest, we're about
Yes.
to celebrate a birthday, another milestone, 58 years of service.
Yes.
April the 15th, tax day.
It's tax day,
And
and
that's
the Urban League's birthday.
That's
Yes.
their tax day, the Urban League's birthday, and it's the only day out of the year that we're a nonprofit.
That is correct.
Right, all right.
Yes.
Okay. But there are some other major things going on this year that's about to happen coming up pretty soon in February.
Yeah, so Equal Opportunity Day luncheon. It is fantastic. This year, our speaker will be, you want to do
None
the
other
honors?
than Mark Moriel, National
Yes.
President of the Urban League.
Yes, we're so excited about that.
Yeah, I'm
This is
looking
one
forward
of
to it.
the Urban League staple events. We usually have about 450 guests or so, and it's fantastic. The last Thursday of the month, it is at the Convention Center, and we are so excited about it. It's always a great event.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And we got another big event right after that in the summer
Okay.
on the last Thursday
Thursday?
in June.
Once again, another great event. My favorite, and they're all my favorite, but that one we get to hang out at the golf course.
Yes.
Yes, a whole day of playing golf. So it is, once again, a great fundraiser for us. If you come out, you'll get to see meet our volunteers, all of our Leadership Academy, young fellows, boys and girls, and our college young kids also. So
Okay.
we're very
Cool.
excited. Last Thursday, June, the month of June, as I said, is a very busy time for the Urban League of Middle Tennessee. As we continue to grow in the community, we continue to have these events, and we ask you to come out and support to see where your dollars are going back
All right.
into.
Hold that thought right there. We're going to go to break, and when we return, we'll tell you how you can get involved, and one of the biggest events of the year that is coming up. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. I'm joined by Frank Bouye, Vice President for Education and Workforce at the Urban League, and Tempest Utley, our Chief Operating Officer, to talk about how you can get involved with the Urban League. So before we tell our listening audience how they can get involved with the Urban League, we got one more big event coming up this year where we get to take the national stage, right? So I'm really looking forward to that. So we get to host none other than
The National Urban League Conference.
That's awesome.
That is
Yes.
awesome.
I've been planning this for 10 years.
That is incredible.
Yes.
That is
Yes,
incredible.
Yes.
So it's going to be 10,000 people. So we want to invite our audience to be involved and all of our small businesses to be
Absolutely.
involved so that they can also, and volunteers for that event so that we can take the national stage and show the nation how Nashville does it, right?
Yes.
10,000 people all across the U.S. and the world, because there are folks that come in from overseas. And it's just a great opportunity to touch so many different partners, businesses, corporations, and just a lot of content and a lot of connectivity.
Don't tell nobody you didn't hear this from me, but I'm trying to get Channel 5 and all to do Urban League Live at Urban League Live
yeah.
at
That
the
would be
National
great.
Conference off-site. So
That
we'll
would be
talk
great.
about
That
that
would
later.
be awesome.
So tell the listening audience how they can get involved. Which one of you would like to do that?
Well, I would like to mention that we also will have the youth conference.
Yes.
So the youth conference starts August 1st or so in that week. We're so excited. We'll have 500 youth
Oh, wow.
from throughout the U.S. or more. We're hoping that it will be more. And Tennessee State University will be the host site.
All right.
So,
That's
yeah,
good.
Yeah,
Go
we're
TSU.
excited. We're excited. Thank you.
And people can join. They can volunteer. You can come and help. You can be a part. You can help others. You can be ambassadors for Nashville and for Tennessee.
But tell them
And
how they can sign up.
you can sign up. You can come to our website at Urban League of ULMT.org, www.ulmt.org, and you can volunteer. We have it on our website. You can call us and at our Urban League location, and you can just volunteer. And we will continue to push this out. And we can place you in wherever you like. You can be involved with a lot of people. You can be involved with logistics. You can be involved in different areas.
So you've heard it from two subject matter experts about the Urban League of Middle Tennessee. We
Yes.
ride together. So let's look ahead. The Urban League will host, like I said earlier, the 50th Equal Opportunity Day Luncheon this month. The event will be held February 26th at the Music City Center, and our guest speaker will be none other than Mr. Mark Morial, National Urban League President and CEO. The event will bring together community members, civic leaders, businesses, and advocates to celebrate the success of the Urban League and bolster community-based culture in the 9 counties that we serve. To reserve your spot and table, join us by going to our website at ulmt.org. This wraps up another edition of Urban League Live. We're glad that you joined us, and we invite you to join us again next time. Until then, please do your part by defending democracy, demanding diversity, and defeating poverty. Until next time, I'm Clifton Harris with the Urban League of Middle Tennessee.